All right, so I chose to do the discussion option for this hacking traditional assignments um, practice thing. And so for my first one, I chose Padlet. I think it's a really easy way to have an engaged class discussion while being pretty simple and straightforward. For augmentation, Teach. I only found out about this recently, but the teacher can make a chat room for their students to kind of interact in real time. They can make polls, they can message each other, they can submit pictures, they can annotate pictures and whatnot. So that sounds like a very interesting way to go about discussions in a different way, in a more kind of one-on-one way with students, while also making use of the technology that's available. So for modification and redefinition, I thought this was a bit more difficult to try and find an application for because it's just you can have a discussion in so many different ways, and how can you really change it all that much, I suppose. Well, for modification, I chose Squibbler, and well, I'm okay. So I used this in high school once. One of my teachers had us use this, and it was really interesting. So you can set a timer for however long, and either you can do a free write, or the website can generate a random prompt for you. And it's interesting because if you pause for too long while you're thinking about what to write, it'll delete all your work. So all if you wait for maybe longer than 5 or 10 seconds, the text will start to get blurry and red, and that means it's about to delete everything. So if you stop writing at any time during those 5 minutes, let's say, then it's going to delete all your work. But if you can write for constantly for those 5 minutes, it'll keep your work, and then you can do whatever you want with it afterwards. So I thought that's a very interesting way to kind of have kids thinking on the fly about what they're supposed to be discussing. And, if at the end, then everybody can share out. So I thought that's an interesting way to just trying to get any thoughts down all at once, however you need to do it. I think that's an interesting way that it could be done. And then the hypothesis is something that I started having to use recently for a class of mine. It's just a browser extension, and you can annotate anything online. And if it's posted publicly, then anybody with hypothesis can see what you put. But then also, it is nice because you can make a specific group for just a classroom, which one of my classes is like that. We have a group that we all joined, and that's how we go about our discussions. We go in hypothesis, look at the online readings, and then use that as a jumping point for the discussions in class. So yeah, these are some of the things I thought would be interesting to use as a different way to have a discussion. So I hope you enjoyed.